where I extracted the Eclipse folder. So I got it over here. So I'll just go here. Then I'll open my Eclipse tool. So when I open my Eclipse tool, you can have an option to browse which folder you want to save your files over there. So right now I want to save my files over here in the D drive Learn Eclipse, and then I click on OK. So now for me the Eclipse is open. So now what we have to do first means, actually first I need to create a project over here. Then after that I need to create package and then a class. So to create a project, go to File, New. At the beginning you might be seeing project, otherwise you can select Java project. Otherwise go to project, select Java project here, otherwise it will be there under the Java folder. So I selected the Java project, click on next. Then I need to give a project name. So my project name, understand Eclipse. Again, then the main information I need to select it as the environment as SC 1.7 or 1.8, and then I click on finish. So for me the project is created. I'll be having a source folder and then the JRA system library. So what will be there under the JRA system library is that will be consisting of the packages and class file which methods are already written over there. Okay, so each and every classes will have its own methods and variables and constants available on it. I'm right click, go to new, package. Here I need to give the package. Always package name starts with the small letter. Okay, that's a standard way, but it's not mandatory. Just I'm giving over here as sample package. Okay, so now what I'll do, yesterday we know that actually what we created a package and then a class. In case I'm not creating any package, directly I'm going to right click, and then after that I'm going to new. I'm directly going to click on class over here. Okay, I'm not created any package. In case if I'm not created any package, see there is no package name. So then I create a class called sample. Okay, so class names always should start with capital letter. Then I need to click on my main function. Then I click on finish. If I create like this, you can see a default package will be created for me. That's what will happen. Okay, so in case if I'm not giving any package information, a default package will be created. Under that my class files will be created, over the Java files will be created. So this is how to create a package, a class and a project over there. So now I want to type some, and then I want to print some information. For that the shortcut is SYSO, then control space, system.out.println, then I'll go for hello, I'll type it, then save it, then I need to right click, run as Java application. So that will be printing here. So SYSO, how are you? So when you right click, when you run it, each and everything will be printing under the different next line, because print line means print the information, go to the next line. In case if I'm going to give only print means everything will be printed under the same line. That's what it will do. That's what we have seen yesterday. Okay, so then we have seen about variables and then data types over there. So where the variables will be present, for example, variables and data types, I'll just go to new class. So I'll just give variables. Then I'm not going to click on my main function. I'm directly going to go to finish. So I want to create a package or something. For example, I'll go to browse. Here there is no packages. In case if I want to create it, I need to right click and then I need to create a package. So right now I'm creating it over there under the here. For example, I'll just give for example pack 1 I'm just giving. Okay, then I'm gonna not click on the main function and then I'm going to finish. See what happens. Can you see a new package has been created? Under that one the variables has been, class has been there. To get the main function, shortcut is MAIN, control space, click on enter. That's it. Okay. So variables is of two types. One is a local variable, another one is a global variable. Variables which are all declared inside the functions are called as local variable. Variables which are declared outside the functions are called as global variables. Global variables again has been split into two types. One is static, another one is non-static. So static variables will be with a keyword called static. Integer a is equal to 100. Then integer b is equal to 200. So now if I want to print the variables sy, so, then directly I need to give the variable name. In case if I am giving the information under a double quotes, that will be treated as a string. It will be printing me the value I only. Okay, so if I want to print the values, the variable information, I need to give only the variable name, which should not be there with double quotes. Now I'll right click, run as Java application. Can you see now it printed me 10. Okay guys, so now if I want to print the global variables, for global variables, if it is a static variable, I need to print with help of the variable name, variables dot a. Okay, variables dot a. So class name and refer with help of the variable name. Okay, 100. Non-static members always I can print it with help of the object only. How to create an object? New and then the class name. Then it should be with parentheses. Now, okay, now for me a memory location has been created. Okay, then now what will happen right now? I need to give a memory location is created. Now I need to give the name for it, and then after that I need to give the reference as what are the members need to be loaded. That is global members to be loaded. So for this, from this class only I need to load all the global members. So I need to give variables obj1 equal to new variables. So now in this object all the global members, the static, non-static members, everything will be loaded. So now I'm going to give sysum obj1 dot b. Okay, so always non-static members should be loaded with help of the object name. Static members always should be referred with help of the class name. Okay, that's a standard practice, but even though you can refer it with help of the object also. So obj1 dot a. Okay, so when I'm going to click on obj1 dot, can you see it's giving me a lot of information over here. What that means? Can you see right now? Here b int variables it's coming. Okay, the same thing if you see, can you see variables coming? Same thing, other things are coming as object, and then here it's coming as variables. That means there are some information which is coming from other class also. Okay, what is this object? Means object is the supermost class of all the classes in Java. Okay, is my audio is breaking for everyone? Shalini, it's breaking for you. For others, it's breaking. Yeah, for others it's fine, Shalini. Yeah. Okay. So obj1 dot. When I give it over there, so it's like actually what? There are some information which is coming from my own class, and then there are some information which is coming from the other class. That is actually what? Only one class it comes, that is object. Object is the supermost class of all the classes in Java. Okay, object is the supermost class of all. And then you can see the main function also is being loaded into the object. Getting? That is, whenever you create an object, all the members, okay, it might be a static or non-static members, everything will be loaded. It might be a variable or it might be a function. Everything will be loaded. So main also is a function over there, which is a static function over there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now obj1 dot, I'm going to refer that EA. So can you see B is coming as actually what? A triangle over here. Then after that, here also it's coming a triangle with S mark. That means what means that is it's saying that actually it is a static member. Okay, so I'll just tell you guys actually what is this actually, what that green color mark over there, and then all those information I'll be letting you know very soon. Okay, so I'll just click on it as of now. Okay, then I'll right click run as Java application. It's printing me all this information. Clear? So this is about yesterday we have seen. So today we are going to see about functions. We are going to see about functions over there. That's what we are going to see. I'll just show. Yes. How about, actually there is a question. How about obj1.i? So what is that obj1.i? So obj1.i is what right now for me? It is the, I always what? The members which is of global only will be loaded. It might be a static or non-static. Local members will not be loaded. Local members can be accessed only in this function only. For example, if I have declared a variable over here, it can be used only in this function only. You cannot use it over there in some other functions. Okay, now we are going to see about functions. Now we will come to know directly what the local variables where all it can be used. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Rajesh. So I'll just open my own. Okay, I'm opening my another Eclipse over there, which has some of my programs over there. Okay, next. So now I'm going to show you about functions. Our function will be written. So always our program starts okay, our program starts class ABC. Okay, always a program will have a class ABC, then always there will be a main function will be present for me. Correct? So always a main function will be present. So what are the things that are there under my main function will be at the beginning over there, I told you. Okay, so now we are going to talk about functions. First we will see what is the usage of that function. So for example, I need to print some values over here like this. Okay, so I'll go to my Eclipse only. Here only I'll just do it. For example, functions understanding. I'll just make it 1. I'll make it. So I want to print some values over here. SYSO. Hello. Welcome. SYSO. It is there is a question from Shalini. Is it mandatory to always refer to global variables with class name like variables.a? If it is a static variable, it's actually what, not mandatory. It's the best practice always to refer a static member with help of the class name. Okay, why means actually I already told you that your static members will have only one copy. Okay, objects, the non-static members will have multiple copies. Each and every time when I'm going to create an object, the default value of the non-static members will be taken. But in case if it is a static member, what will happen right now? For you, whenever you assign a value, that value will be assigned in all over the places. It might be the object level, or it might be the your static pool level. Everywhere it will be changing. Whenever you create a new object, the latest value only it will be taken. So that's why always the best practice to access the static members with help of the class name. Clear, Shalini? This is what your question now? So welcome, how are you? Then I'm just going to give so hi there. I'm just going to have. Then I'm just going to print this statement for a number of times. So day 1. I'm going to print these 3 statements. So day 2. Simply I'm just using it. So this is what my execution over here. I want to print over there like this. So day 3 and finally, okay. So there are some set of statements which I need to execute in my statement for n number of times. So what are the statements? Means hi, hello, sorry, hello, welcome, how are you? After that, hi there, hello, welcome, how are you? Day 1, hello, welcome, how are you over here? Like that, I'm just printing the same set of statements n number of times in my program. Okay, so if I'm going to use like this, the same set of statements n number of times in my program, so what are the things? The same lines I'm printing it for n number of times. Getting? So that's a problem over there I'm doing. So the same thing can be handled with help of function. First I'll execute this one, we'll see what is the output. And that's the application. So it's printing everything. The same thing, if I'm going to have it over there in my functions, we'll see how it is easily can be managed. Okay, I'll just copy the same information, right click new class to public static void main finish. So now I'll just copy this program information and then I'm going to have it over here. So I told you that hello, welcome, how are you? This is a statement which I'm going to execute for n number of times, correct? So I'll copy this one and then I'm going to create a function. Okay, how a function can be written? Okay, I told you that public static void main also is a function, but it's an executable function. Other functions are whenever you call at that time only that will be executed. Clear? Whenever you call that time only those functions will be executed. So now I'm going to create a function over here. Same right now. So this public, all those things are access modifiers. Okay, those are all called as package access modifiers. So it's not mandatory that actually right now I need to give it over there as public. So now I'm going to give a function static. Okay, always any member will have a static keyword or it might be a non-static member. It might be a static or non-static member. So right now I'm going to create a static method void then method 1. Method name can be anything. I'm just giving method 1 as a one. I'm giving. So now I told you that hello, welcome, how are you is what actually what I'm going to use it for a number of times. So I'm going to write it over here. Okay, then I'll save it. So whenever I want to print this statements, instead of writing it over here, I will call this method. Okay, method 1 is my class name. So how I can call it? So right now I'll just delete these 3 lines. Then I'm going to give what is my class name? Function understanding 2. So I'll just give it over here. Dot. Can you see it's giving me dot class dot main dot method 1. So method 1 is what right now? My method here. Can you see? Okay, I'm just going to click on that. So now what will happen? Whenever I'm going to call this method, it will come to this method, then it will print me hello, welcome, how are you? Then again, once after this execution is done, again the control comes over here, then prints me hi there. Then next again what will happen? So from my side, I'll delete these 3 lines. Then I'll print this one. The same thing I will do it for all the places wherever I used it. So once again I'm using the same thing. Then again here. Okay, The same program I have made it in a organized standard structure. That's what. See the program here, how it is. The same thing, see your program, how it is. So it will call this method, then prints me hide them. Call the method, print these lines, and then again comes here, day1. Think of it as only 3 lines of code. Same thing if it is of 100 lines or 500 lines of code is there, which we need to repeat it for a number of times. So what will happen, for example, 100 lines of code of program is there, which you need to repeat it for example, 10 to 15 times, means works totally 1500 lines of code you have to write it separately, entirely each and every time. Instead of that one, if you have it over there, what will happen, each and every time whenever it's needed, you can call it. And one more advantage is what means, whenever there is any changes that you need to do for those code, if you do the changes over there only in this method level, for example, this welcome, I need to print as welcome to Java class. Like that, if I do, what will happen, one change will affect in all the 15 places. Okay, will reflect in all the 15 places. So it becomes easier for me. That's why we use the functions here. Clear? Anyone has any doubts on this one? See, I'll right click run as Java application. It prints me the same information now also. Getting? So we'll see how this execution happens. Okay, so but everyone understood actually why we need to use functions. Anyone has any doubts on this one? Sure, I'll just print. There's actually I just want you to print the code in chat. Sure, I'm just printing the code in the chat for you. There is another question. Is mentioning the class name is mandatory? That's what. The thing is, I told you, no? So mentioning the class, just again, yeah. Okay, so mentioning the class name is mandatory. So that one is what means, right now if it is a static method, I need to refer with the help of a class name. If it is a non-static member, okay, I need to refer with help of a object name. So static members means you can refer with help of the class name, but it's not mandatory, because static members can be accessed with help of the class name, object name, otherwise directly it's same name also. Okay, directly by its name also if it is in the same class. Clear guys? Same thing, that's what is the question I'll say. So right now, this function understanding 2 dot method 1 is there, na? So instead of using it by function understanding method 1, I can also use this directly method 1 also. Okay, that also works because it is there under my same class in the same function over there, so I can access it. Otherwise, I can also create an object and then I can use it. That is obj1 equal to new function understanding. Okay, so referring with help of the object name also is possible. obj1 dot. Okay, can you see here for me function understanding 2, see that method 1 is coming. So with help of the object name also I can refer it. Okay guys? Rajesh, that is actually, you have shared the queries to Nilesh, can you pass on the doubts to him? So that is actually you are having the problem with just to be information. Sorry. You guys are not able to see my screen. Ramesh, guys, can you able to see my screen? Ramesh, actually it's a problem with your side, I think so. Others are able to see. Okay. So, there's other question. Kiran and Ramesh, you guys have any questions? You raised a hand. Is there any questions from your side? a second. Okay, sure. So in case if it's there, you can just send me a question also. Okay. So now I'll go to the next program. So now we'll see the same thing, actually memory allocations, which is happened for the, from our side we have seen about variables level, how the memory allocation happened and then how it is executed. Now the same thing I'm going to show you how it happens over there if I'm going to execute the method. So I'll just copy some of my functions program which I have written already, so that will give you a good understanding. So I copied some Java files and then after that I pasted over there in another package. So there are some errors it's showing. We'll see what are the problem. I'm clicking on it, basic one. So what I need to do, I need to make it as my package name, pack1. I pressed on F2, then again I'll come here, I'll change it. Now the error will be gone. The same thing I will do for all the programs. I'll save it, it will be gone. That's the thing. Okay, so now that is, I'll create another, I'll come to the same program actually. So here I created the static method. Okay, so now I'm gonna create you some other methods over there which is non-static, how to access it. Okay, so first functions usage understanding 3, I'll make it, then I'll click on my main function. So now how to write a function? The function you can write it over there outside this main function, that is actually anywhere. It can be a big below before that or after that. It's not a problem. Anytime what will happen, my main function only will start to execute. Even if I write it over here also, see, static void sample1. Okay, I'll have it like this. So otherwise I can also have it after this function also. So right now it's throwing me error. Why? Because here also I given a sample1, here also I given a sample num. So it becomes as a duplicate. So if I mouse over, can you see? Rename method sample1. Okay, so I'll make it as sample2. In case if I make it as actually what sample1, then if I make it as non-static also, then also it throws me an error. Getting? So it treats as a different duplicate memory over there. That's the thing. So I'll make it as sample2. I told you that actually we can have static and the non-static methods both. Okay. So if I does not have a keyword called static, then it's called as a non-static method. Clear? So how a non-static method can be called? Same as like how you call the non-static variables only. If I want to call this sample method, so for example, I'm going to print it here, sample1 method. Here it's going to print me sample2 method. Then here I'm going to have main function starts. Then I'll just have the next line, main function ends. So if I want to call the static method, I can refer with help of the class name, function usage function understanding 3 dot. There it will give me sample1. So I'll press down button, then I'll select sample1 and click on enter. Okay, that calls me the sample1 method. The same thing if I want to call to sample2, that is not there. See, right now, function understanding 3. Can you see? Sample1 only is there. Sample2 is not there. So sample2 will be, can be accessed only with help of the object name only. So function understanding 3. Okay, so how we have to give? You should give new function understanding 3. If I give with parentheses, that will create me an object for me. So there, if I give function understanding obj1 equal to, now I'm going to give the object name and then function understanding 3, what will happen? That will help me to refer the information. So function understanding 3 will refer me. Okay, function understanding 3, obj1 equal to new function understanding 3. Okay, so then if I want to call the sample2 method, I need to give obj1 dot. Now I'm having all the information here in this sample method. So I'll just press yes. So when I type the letters, based on that, it will also give me suggestions on it. Filter and give me the auto suggestions. So sample2 is what I need to access. Sample2. That's it. Okay. Now if I print it, run as Java application. Main function starts, sample1 method, sample2 method, and then main function ends. Clear? So now we'll see how the memory allocations are being happened. So before that, I'll create some information. Static int I is equal to 10. Okay, static int I is equal to 10. Then after that, I'll have int j is equal to 20. Then here, sample1 method. Here I'm just going to print sys I. Okay, is a static member. It's always best to use with the function understanding 3.I. Correct? That is the class name. Same thing now. After that, I'm going to give integer I is equal to 100. Then I'm going to print sys I. The same thing here. Before that also, I'll just give sys I. Same information, I'm going to copy it over there in all the places. See what happens right now. So here also, I will just add the information. Instead of 100, I'll make it as 200 here. Same thing, the sample2 method also. I have that information. I'll make it as 300. Then ends. Sample1 method ends. Anyone has any doubts as what I have done? The only thing what I have done over here is I created two variables right now. Okay, I'll just make it as only one variable because j as of now I'm not using. So I'll create one variable called static, which is I. Then in all over the methods, what I'm doing is, okay, so from my side, first I'm going to give main function starts. Okay, from my side, always execution starts from the main function. Okay, so main function starts function understanding 3 dot I. That means what? The class name dot I. What will happen? It goes to the static pool. Static pool memory will be what? 10. Then I'm just going to print only the I value. So that means I also what will happen right now? Checks over there in the local memory, do I have I? Right now I don't have I variable over here. So it goes to the static pool, then prints me I. The same thing now I'm going to declare a new variable, declare and initialize a new variable, integer I equal to 200. So now what will happen right now for me? So here it goes to the static, here it's going to create me a local memory in the main function, local memory of main. There it creates a new variable. Then if I refer through I, that will print me always the 200. Only if I refer through help of the class name only, it refers to static pool and then get me the value of it. Then I'm calling the sample1 method. So now what will happen? Goes to the sample1 method. Sample1 method will be printed. Then I'm referring with help of class name. So static pool value is what? 10. Then I refer it I. So now what will happen? Goes to the local memory of sample. There we don't have any information over there right now created. Okay, each and every method has its local memory. So that's why I'm telling this program. So system.out.println I now checks the local memory of sample1. Now I don't have any I value, so I variable, so goes to the static pool and then prints me 10. Okay, then I'm creating a local memory here, variable here, I equal to 100. Now what will happen? When I'm trying to print with I, checks in the local memory of sample, there I will be 100, it will be printed. Then sample1 method ends, comes here, I'm creating an object, then obj1.sample2. Okay, then system.out.println main function ends. Sorry, sample2, then it control comes here. The same logic happens over here also. Then now control comes here, main function ends. Clear, guys? I'll right click and then I'm running it. So once again, with memory location, I'll be just telling to you, see, main function level 10 and 10 it printed, then finally 200. Sample1 method let 10 and 10 printed, then finally 100, because here it's 100. Then sample2 method 10 and 10, then it's 300 because it's local for this one. Getting? So some of them might be confused over there. Okay, so I'll just explain you with help of the memory allocation, so you guys will be a little bit clear about that, what I'm saying. So I'm just going to print it. So now I'm going to execute the program as per our memory allocation. Sorry. Just a second, guys. There is some questions. I'm not clear with calling static and then non-static functions. Can you please repeat? Sure. I'm going to explain you in this program, Shalini. You will get that one. Ramesh, you're seeing my screen very lately. Please pass the code, Surajit. Sure, Surajit. I'm just passing. I'll just pass that also. Guys, anyone is facing any problem that actually when I'm just moving from one screen to another screen, is it getting delay for you guys? Anyone is facing some same problem? Ramesh, it's actually for others it's fine, Ramesh. Now it's okay? Yeah, okay. Syed, you have any doubt? You have raised your hand. Okay, so I'll continue. Yeah. I'll explain this program right now. So you guys want the program, so I'm just sending you the code here one more time. You guys are receiving my code now once if I send it over there through the question window. You guys are receiving? Yes, okay, sure. Okay, so I'll explain this one. So what will be here? So function understanding will be my memory location name. So now what will happen right now for me? Always when I start the program, I will be getting my static pool. So all the static members will be loaded over here, I told. Okay, so this is a static pool. This is my static pool. So what are the static members will be loaded right now for me? If you see that integer I, this is one static member. That will be loaded. Sorry. So that is loaded. Then void sample. Okay, this also will be loaded. Then after that main function. Yes, main function also will be loaded for us. Then after the next, if you see any other, is there? No. This is a non-static method. So only these three members only are static. So now I already told you always which will be started for me. The main memory only will be started for us always during execution. So what happens? It creates a local memory for main at the beginning. local memory for main has been created. Then next what will happen right now for me, when main memory start to execute over there, it create, that is actually what, it creates a local memory. Then first main function starts. Main function starts. Okay, that will be printed first. First main function starts will be printed. Then next function understanding 3.i. So function understanding 3.i means what? It's a class name. I'm referring the I variable with the help of the class name. So when I refer with the help of class name, what right now for me? First the control directly goes to the static pool only. So in the static pool I variable said yes. So what is the variable value right now? It's 10. So 10 will be printed. 10. Then next system.out.println I. So when I give it, when I'm going to give only the variable name, what is the I variable right now? So here right now it is in the local memory. I don't have any I variable. Okay, first control searches in the local memory. Hey, sorry guys. Okay. So right now I'm executing this one. Okay. So here the thing is actually okay. Just a second. I have done a mistake over there. So I'll start to execute from the beginning. My mistake. Just be with me. Very sorry. So I'll start to execute from the beginning. So there is no confusion. Just a minute. Okay. Rajesh, anything? You have executed the program. System.out.println I. Okay. It displayed the value as 10. Yes, sir. I'll just explain this program so you guys. So no need to use the class name. That's what I'm saying. Na? It's not mandatory to use the class name for static members. Okay, static members can be referred with the help of class name, directly the variable name, otherwise with reference of the object name I can access. Standard practice is to use with the help of the reference of class name. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Clear? Okay, so I'll start it. First, when the program starts, static pool is created. All the static members are loaded for us. Then next, what will happen for me? Main function start to execute. So first, main function starts over there. Before that, it creates me a local memory for the main. Local memory for main. Local memory for main is created. So then after that, what main function starts. Main function starts. Then next, system.out.println function understanding 3.i am just giving. So what are the thing? Function understanding 3.i means, so reference is what right now for me? Function understanding 3 is the class name. So directly the control goes to the static pool. What is the I value right now? It is 10. So it comes here. 10 will be printed. Then next, system.out.println I. When I refer with only the variable name, control comes to the main memory. Okay, the local memory of main. Then searches I variable is present. No, I don't have. Then control comes to the static pool. Then what will happen? Searches here I variable said yes, we have. So now 10 will be printed. Getting now 10 has been printed for me. Then next. Then next, integer I equal to 200. When I give integer I equal to 200, so in the main memory, so now a variable, new variable will be created I that is equal to 200. That will be created for me. That's what. Then system.out.println I. Now the control goes to the local memory of main. There it searches I variable is present. Yes, I have a I variable. So now here 200 will be taken and then that will be printed here. Okay. So then after that, now I'm going to execute this one. We have executed till there. Now I'm going to execute here. Function understanding 3.sample1. Okay, function understanding 3 means class name is directly search goes to static pool, searches whether sample1 method is present. Okay, always methods will be referred with the help of parentheses like this only. Okay, so yes, sample1 method is there. Now what will happen? It creates a local memory for sample1. Okay, a local memory for sample1 is created now. That is, each and every time any function or anything executes, a local memory for that one will be created. Then next control comes to the static void sample1 method. Here it prints me sample1 method. Then function understanding 3.i. I am referring through class name for a variable I. So directly search goes to static pool. What is the I value right now? That is 10. So 10 will be taken and then it will be printed. Then system.println I. Now what will happen? It searches in the local memory of sample1. So here I variable is there? No, I don't have anything. Now the control goes to the static pool. Then after that searches whether I is present. Yes, we have I. So now it prints me 10 over here. Then integer I equal to 100. Now what will happen? It creates me a memory location here in the sample1, integer I equal to 100 comes. Okay, the same thing here also, what? Integer I equal to 200 we got over there in the main memory. Now same as like that. I equal to 100, so same thing. So now what will happen? System.println I. Now when I am searching in sample1 in the local memories, I is present. Yes, we have I. What is the value right now? It's holding 100. So now 100 will be taken and will be printed. That's the thing. Clear? Then sample1 method ends. Sample1 method ends. Okay. Now entire information has been executed. Okay. In the sample1 method, everything is executed. Now control comes out of the sample1 method to the place wherever the call happened. So control comes over here. Now when the control comes over there, the memory which is allocated for the sample1 will be deleted by the garbage collector. Now control comes here. Now I am creating an object, function understanding 3, obj1 equal to new function understanding 3. Now what will happen? It creates me an object. It creates me one object over here which is obj1. Okay, now what will happen? All the members. Okay, so all the members will be loaded right now. obj1 is there now. So now what happened? All the members. What global members? What are the global members we have? That is these two things. So static int I equal to 10, static and then even your main function also has been loaded in the object level, but we will not be using it, but main function also load. Then after that, right now the sample method, that also will be loaded. The sample2 method. So all these things will be loaded right now. Clear? So now everything is loaded. So then what will happen right now for me? Now control start to execute this line. Okay. So it executes this one. obj1 dot sample2. Now it comes to the obj1. Here sample2 method is here. So now what will happen? Yes, sample2 method is there. So now sample2 method start to execute. For that now a local memory for sample2 will be executed. Local memory for sample2, that will be executed now. Okay, so yeah, so there is some questions, just a second. So in object we need to call only non-static variables, right? The thing is, it's actually what, not compulsorily always you need to call the non-static members, but the standard way always actually what we used to call only the non-static members, but it's not mandatory. Static members also we can call. That option also is present, But the standard way always use non-static members alone in the object. That's what I'm saying. Clear, guys? That is what I'm saying. I'm not clear with how the memory allocated for object 1 in this example. So Nitya, for you the question is clear? Okay, so Shalini, for you is allocated for object 1. So how the object has been played means, for here if you see this step, function understanding 3 obj1 equal to new function understanding 3. So what is the step is doing? I'm trying to create an object. Okay, so where the object has been created, that object is created from the main memory. Okay, the object is created from the main memory. So whenever I'm going to create the object, whenever I'm trying to create an object, what will happen right now for me? So all the global members of the referred class. The referred class is what here? Function understanding 3. So all those class global members will be loaded into the object. It might be a static or it might be a non-static. Static and non-static all will be loaded. That's what here happening. So what are the static members? Static int equal to 10. Static void sample 1. So these two things are loaded. Even the main also static, that also will be loaded. Then if a control comes over here, then sample 2 is a non-static. So non-static members also loaded. So that is how this object is created, the memory is allocated, and then all these members are loaded. Clear, Shalini? That's what's your doubt now? Okay, yeah. So now for me, obj1.sample2. Now I'm going to execute this one. So why I'm referring with obj1 for the sample2 means because it's a non-static member. Non-static members can be referred only with the help of the class name alone. Sorry, object name alone. So now obj1 when I refer, it comes to the obj1 object memory. Comes here sample2 is present. Yes, we have sample2. Now what will happen? Sample2 for that a local memory will be created for me. That's what local memory for sample2. Then next what will happen right now? So it comes to the sample2 method. Then sorry. Okay, it comes to the sample2 method. Then now what will happen? It will execute this one. So void sample2 system.println sample2 method. So sample2 method. Sample2 method. So here that will be printed. Then function understanding 3.i. So that means function understanding 3 is what? Is my class name. So function understanding 3, if I give, always search will go to static pool. What is the I value? It is 10. So 10 will be taken. Then again now what happened right now? Referring system.println I. Now control comes to the local memory. Why? Because I'm referring with the help of the only, I'm not referring with anything, directly I'm using the variable name. So here I variable is what right now for me? Right now nothing is present. So control comes again to the static pool. What is the I value right now? That is 10 will be printed one more time. It prints. Then integer I equal to 3. Now, so now it creates a local memory integer I equal to. And next what will happen? I'm referring system.println I. Now control comes and search in local memory. What is the I value right now? That is 300. Now 300 will be taken and then to be printed. Then next sample2 method ends. Sample2 method ends. That's what will happen. Okay. Now what happens? Sample2 method is executed. Then again control comes to the place wherever it is called. Okay. So now the memory which is allocated for that sample2 method has been deleted. Okay. Then control comes here. Main function ends. Main function ends. So then after that what will happen? Entirely main memory is executed. Now control comes out of the main memory. Now when it comes out of the main memory, what will happen? the memory which is allocated for the main memory also will be deleted. Main memory will be deleted. The object is created from the main memory, so that memory also will be deleted. Then after that, what will happen right now? So control comes out of the entire program. Now static pool memory and then the entire memory which is allocated, everything will be deleted. So by whom the deletion will happen? The deletion always will be happen by the garbage collector. Clear, guys? This is how the memories will be allocated if you're executing the functions. Anyone has any doubts on this one? So everyone is clear of it. Can you go to the next program? Object memory will be deleted after main memory. Yes, the thing is because through main memory only for me that object is created, correct? So what will happen right now? The object will be remaining always will be present, okay, till that function has been executed. Okay, so main function once it's deleted, that time only that object memory will be deleted. Clear here? That's the same object. If in case if I'm creating it in the sample1 method, inside the sample1 method execution, what will happen once the sample1 method has been executed, that time that object which is created from the sample1 method also will be deleted when sample1 memory has been deleted. That's the thing. Clear, guys? Shall I go to the next program? Okay. So now we have seen about methods, actually how to write a method and then how to call a method and then how the memories are allocated. Okay, now I'm going to show you another concept over here, that is in methods we have return type and then arguments. So how that is going to happen, that's what I'm going to tell you. So just a second, give me 2 minutes. .05 is file name. What is that, Rashmita? 05 file name? .05 file name, what is it? The one for you directly created out. Just a second. Oh yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I'm going to show you about, okay, just a second, there is a doubt. Can I call a function which is in different class to a current class which is working? Yes, that is possible. How that is possible means, for example, I'll just show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you what is the doubt over here means. So I'm having a class, 2 classes. So I'm having 2 classes. So I'll write here, for example, 2 classes. So class ABC. So class ABC. So here I have my main function, string, arguments. Then we have a method here. So static void sample1. So here CISO ABC sample1 method. So this is a static method. Okay, I'll mention as ABC1 sample static method. Then I'm having here, instead of static, I'll make it as non-static over here. So ABC, this is sample2 method, sample2 non-static method. Okay, these are the two methods I'm having over here. So here I'm having, so to call this method from here, what I'll be using directly, I can use static method means abc.sample1. Non-static means I'll be creating an object for this one. The same thing now I want to call these methods in the other class. So how to call? That's what I'm going to show you. Class XYZ, always a class. If you want to execute it, you want to have a main function, string arguments. So then from here, if I want to call this method which is in the ABC class means, so what I need to use, I need to use ABC dot sample1. I need to call like this. That's it. The same thing in case if it is non-static method, I need to create an object for the ABC class. So ABC obj1 equal to new ABC. Okay, this is how I need to call that. Okay, so here I need to give obj1 dot sample2 here. That's it. Clear? This is how we call the methods from the other classes over here. This is what you download. This is what you know. Clear? Any else apart from this? So we'll have two mains. Okay, it's not compulsory that actually what we will be having two mains. So if you want to execute it, you'll have a main. Okay, so if you have a main class, then only what for you actually what the class will be executed for you. Okay, it's not compulsory actually, but for example, right now I'm going to execute the XYZ class. That is what right now for me is important. Okay, so our ABC class is not compulsory that I need to have the main function. That's the only thing. What is the difference in calling the method in same class and from other class? So the thing is actually what is the difference in having calling the methods from other class means? So in the real world, always actually what we will be having n number of classes. Okay, based on functionality. Okay, for example, I'm going to tell you actually what Gmail is the application you are going to develop it. So for inbox, they will have a separate class. For send items, there will be a separate class over there. For each and every functionality level, each and every functionality level, they will be having a separate class. Under that one, each and every feature level, they will be having some method. For example, inbox is the class. In that, what are the things? So inbox, actually what will happen right now, you have an option to delete it over there. Okay, and then you have an option to forward that mail, to reply to the mail. So each and everything what will happen, they'll be having separate methods in the inbox level. That's what they do. So now whenever it's needed in other places, they will call that method, and then they will execute it. That's what they will do. Okay. Is that your question, Ramesh? So is ABC class should be in the same package of XYZ? Yeah. The thing is actually your side that for example, you are going to use the methods from the different class over there. Both the classes should be there into the same package. But if you can also have it over there in the other package, that time you should have the classes methods as a public over there. Those things when it comes to the package access modifier, I'll be explaining to you about those things. There is another question from Syed. For execution, there should be main method with name as main, or it can have main method with any name provided that we are passing strings to it. For execution, there should be main method with name as main, or it can have. The thing is actually what always it's the main function is mandatory be using. That is actually what pre-written function over there. Okay, which we are using it for executable function. Our own written function can be written with anywhere, however we want. For executable functions, always it should be public static void main string arguments. Okay. So why you're making it as a static means because statics only will be always taken in the memory at the beginning. That's why it will be executed. Public static void main. Okay, guys. If there are two classes, which one will execute it first? Because both have void main function. So from your side, when you are going to execute it, it will ask you which class to be executed. Okay, I'll show you that example also. Okay, for example, in the same program, I'm going to have two classes in case. Okay, so how that execution happens is when I'm trying to right click run as Java application, that time it will show me two class names over there. Which class I'm clicking on it and then trying to execute it, that will be executed. Difference between static void and then void. So static void is what means that is actually what from my side void is a return type which I'm going to explain hereafter. So static is what means is a keyword. If you mention it as a static, it's a static member. Okay, so that members will be loaded into the static pool. Non-static members always can be accessed with the help of the object name alone. That's the difference. Okay guys, can I go further? Okay, so I'll go to the next thing. So this is what the doubt you guys have. So for example, two classes. Okay, I just create a class name as two classes main function. Okay. So this is what my main function is. So two classes. So I'll just copy this one. Okay, and then I'm going to have here. So I need to change ABC. So here I'll just mention it as ABC class. It's throwing me a public type must be defined as whole file. Okay, so I'm removing this public keyword alone. Okay, so when it comes to package access module, you guys will know about those things. So right now, can you see I'm having two classes over here. One is two classes, another one is ABC class. Now I'm going to run it. Right click, run as Java application. See what happens now. Okay, select Java application. Which one you want to run it, ABC or two classes. So if I click on ABC and then if you click on OK, ABC class will be executed. Right click, run as Java application. When I click on two classes will be executed. Whichever I'm going to select it, that will be executed. So if you are not specifying static, just void is always non-static, right? Yes, perfect. If you're not specifying static keyword, always it's a non-static. Correct. So now I'll go to the next one. So now I'm going to tell you about return types over here. What are the return types? Second time why we removed public word with class. The thing is actually what in the same program I cannot have two public classes. Okay, I can have only one public class over there. Others should be a default class. Okay, those things when I come to the access modifier, you will come to know those things. So, what was the file name, Rajnish? So the file name, yes, superb question. Okay, the thing is right now two classes I have created over here. Correct? So there is only one Java file you can see over here in the Eclipse. Okay, right click, refresh it. Okay, there is only one two class Java file. Now I'll go to the original folder location. We'll see what happens over there. I'll right click on the package, go to properties. Now I'm going to get the property location information. So if you see in the resource, you can see the location of my package. I'll copy that. Now I'll go to this location. Can you see there is two classes? So I have created one more class called ABC. Now in the source folder only two classes there. If you see, right click, edit. Can you see two classes? ABC is there, but for ABC the Java file has not been created. The same thing, I'll come to the bin folder, see what happens. Can you see two classes is there and then ABC class is there. Okay, who has a class has been created, for them compulsorily for ABC one class file will be created. Okay, always there will be a class file will be created. Java file will be only one, but class file will be multiple. Why? Because I already told you JVM needs the class file to be executed. Okay, Java file is actually only for the understanding. Class file is for the execution over there. So that's why two class files will be created. Clear? This is what your question now. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now I'll come over. So I'm going to explain you about return types. So return types we'll see. So ABC. So then I'm having my main function. Then I'm going to have a method, static void, then sample1. So if I'm going to have static void sample1 over here, so what are the things will happen over here? If I want to call this method, how I will be calling? I'll be calling it as, the class name is abc dot sample1. This is how I used to call the method. Clear? So I make it as capital letter because standard way is to use this one. abc.sample1. So always, okay, your method will have a return statement. Okay, so if it's a void means, okay, it will be having a statement called return, but it will not return me any value. So it's not mandatory in the void. If the return type of my function is void, it's not mandatory for me to use the return statement. But instead of void, I can have different data return types. Return types will be your data types. See, I can have static void sample2. So here, if I'm using, instead of void, if I'm using it as integer, okay, what I need to do means, here I should use the return statement return 10. I need to use like this. So that means if it is integer, I should return an integer value. The same thing if it is double. What should happen? I need to return a double value. In case if it is boolean, I need to return a boolean value, either true or it should be false. Same thing if it is string, I need to return a string value. That's what. Clear, guys? So if I want to call this method, as usual, I'll be calling abc dot sample2. I'll be calling the method like this. So what will happen here in case of sample2 method. So what will happen right now for me? It will print me sample2 method. Then what will happen right now for me? It returns me hello over here to the place wherever it is called. This is the place I have called over here. So in case if I want to capture that information, I can capture it in the data type. Okay, in a variable string a is equal to, if I give what will happen in the a variable, it will load me hello over here. That's what it will do. So now if I print it CISO a, what will happen? So in a variable right now we have hello now, so a will be printed, hello will be printed for me here. That's the thing. Clear, guys? Any doubts on this return type? Any doubts? Anyone has any doubts on understanding this return type? Shall I go to the next topic, which is arguments? Okay, I'm going to talk to you about arguments over here. So for example, this is return types. Next I'm going to talk to you about arguments. Okay, that is method overloading. Okay, there is a doubt. In output sample2 method and hello will be printed, right? The thing is actually what will happen, yes, correct. The thing is what will be the output over here means when I give abc.sample1, so in case if I'm having it over here as CISO sample1 method, so sample1 method, what will happen right now for me? So first abc.sample1, sample1 method will be printed here, then return. Okay, there is nothing, no values can be written if it is the void is a return type over here. So it comes over here. Then after that the control comes here, then abc.sample2. Now sample2 method will be printed and returns hello to the place wherever it is called. So now this place will be holding hello. Then after that will be stored under a variable. Then I'm printing CISO a, that will be printing hello and then comes out of the main function. Clear, Nidya? So if you don't write return in void method, it still works. What is the difference between writing return and not writing return in void method? So the thing is return, I'm not going to return any value over here. So that's why in Java there is an option. It is not mandatory that actually what you have to use the return statements. Okay, so from my side it's not mandatory that I need to use the return statement here. Why means because if you use return also, you're not going to return any value to the program wherever it is called. So that's why they have made it as actually what's not a mandatory statement. Clear, Syed? Yeah. Now I'm going to talk to you about method overloading concept. What is this method overloading concept over here? Okay, so we'll see. So class XYZ. So that as a main function. Public static void means string arguments over here. So I'm having a method called static void sample1 So static void sample2. Here I can have integer a like this, integer a. So the thing is here, sysum sample method sysum sample2 method. So then I can just print it sysum a. Okay, so in case instead of void, if it is integer, what will happen? That can return. So in here I'll have another method. Instead of void, in case if I'm having as integer, I can also return the statement return a plus 10. If I give, what will happen? The a value plus the 10 value. So the thing is, it's an integer value. So integer is a return type. That's why I'm using. So in case if it is boolean, okay, the thing is I cannot return the boolean over here. Okay, what is the return type? Integer means the integer value only can be returned. That's the thing. Okay. So is it necessary to write return for a method with void keyword? No, it's not compulsory. It's not mandatory to write return statement if a method is having void as a return type. But if it's integer or some other data types, if I'm using it as a return type, it's mandatory that I need to use the return statements. Otherwise, it throws me an error. Okay, so now if I want to call this method, how I can call? So now, if I want to call this sample1 method, how I can call xyz dot sample1. If I call, that method will be called. If I want to call the next sample2 method, so how I can call xyz dot sample2. Then here if you see, it's accepting integer a over here. Correct? So I need to pass an integer argument. So if I pass 20, then only this method will be called. Because I can have a method with the same name also. So for example, see here integer 2, okay, this will be a problem. So this should be double. Okay, then I want to return an integer value. So this is 10. Okay, I know that I confused you. Okay, once again I'm telling you. So the thing is static integer sample2, and then it's accepting double argument. Same thing here, it is integer argument. Both name of the method is sample2. I told you before you cannot use the same method name. Okay, so when I'm using the same method name, it was throwing me error. But based on the arguments, okay, based on the arguments, you can differ a method with the same name. So sample2 is a method name, but this will accept integer argument, but this will be accepting double argument. Based on this one, you can differ the methods here. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So when I call sample2 20, that time what will happen? This method will be called prints me sample2 method, then sysum a. So what will happen? It will print me what is the a value that I pass is 20. So 20 will be printed here, and then control comes to the place to here. Here I'm not using return statement because it's a void. It's not mandatory to use return statement. So then xyz dot sample3, then here it's accepting double argument. That means I need to pass a double argument 10.50. Now what happened? This double argument will be called. So now what happened? The a variable will be holding 10.50. Okay, a variable will be holding 10.50. Then prints me sample2 method. Then a prints me a. So what is the a value right now? It is 10.50 will be printed. Then returns 10. So that will be coming over there. That 10 will be coming over. In case if I want to capture in a variable, I can capture it as like here I'm capturing the variable. So the return value is integer. So I can use integer a or b or anything, whatever I want to use. Otherwise, I can also print it. So I'm not don't want to capture it in any variable. I just want to print it what is the value. This is also possible. Clear? So this is how, okay, always the methods will be differed based on its arguments. Okay, so this concept is called as method overloading. Okay, a method having the same name but having different arguments is called as method overloading. We'll see more about method overloading. Okay, the concept is this one. How sample3 came? Hey, sorry guys, sorry, it's my mistake. Sample2, sorry, sample2 is sample2, that's why it's calling this sample2 method. Okay, my mistake. Can we overload method with different return types? Yes, correct. So for based on return types, the methods will be different. I can have integer, double, string. Okay, based on the number of arguments or based on the type of arguments, I can differ a method. Okay, I'm going to show you those things in my programs over there. So if you understand the concept, I can go further and then show you those programs to you. You're clear about this concept, everyone? What is return type? What is overloading over here? Okay, you guys are still in the confusion mode? Please repeat overloading. Yes, I will repeat that one. So, can I call a function which is in different class to current class which is working? This one you guys send right now. Huh? Can I call a function which is in different class to current class which is working? It's an old question, I think. But no, yeah, you can call that. It's an old question. Huh? Okay. Ramesh, you have raised your hand. You have any questions? The same function can return different data types. Yes. The thing is, based on what I pass over there, based on that, it returns the information. Okay. I just come to that one once again. So I'll do it right now. So I'll execute this program. So now, what is my class name? XYZ is my class name. So always a class will have a static pool. Always a class will have a static pool. So then all the static members will be loaded. What are the things? We have a main function. Then we have the sample method, which is a static. Then we have sample2 integer a. Then we have same again sample2, but which is accepting double argument. So all these things are being loaded. Now what happened right now for me? Always, as I said, main function start to execute at the beginning. Local memory for main will be executed. Local memory for main is executed. Now first xyz.sample1. So xyz.sample1 comes to the static pool. Sample1 method is there. Yes. So now what happened right now? Creates a local memory for the sample1. So sample1 is created. Now what happened? It prints me sample method as the output. Sample method is the output. Then execution stops. Now what happened? The memory is being deleted. Then next static void xyz.sample2 of 20. So now what happened? It calls me the sample2 method. Okay, so comes to the static pool, sample2 of integer a. I'm passing 20, which is an integer value. So this one matches because there are two sample2 in that. This integer a is what matching over there. So that will be created for me, memory for that. So local memory for sample2. So here integer a. So that means what I from my side is integer a. So we got it. So now what will happen right now? I'm passing 20. So what will happen right now? That 20 will be passed to this a variable. Okay, so here in the a now, so there that 20 will be stored. A equal to 20. Then so sample2. So this method is executed right now. Sample2 method will be executed. Sample2 method. Then so a. So now what comes here? What is the a value right now? That is 20. So 20, because I'm referring with the help of only the variable name, so that means always checks in the local memory only, the priority goes there. Then execution is completed. Now what happened? The memory has been deleted right now for me. The memory is deleted. Then next what happened? xyz.sample2 sysO xyz.sample2 10.50, which is a double value I'm passing. So matches with sample2 double of a. So creates a local memory for that. Local memory for sample2 double of a. Sample2 double of a. So now what happened? Here in this a variable 10.50 will be loaded. A equal to 10.50 will be loaded right now. So now what happened right now for me? Comes here, execution starts. Sample2 method. Sample2 method comes over here. Then sysO a. So what is the a value right now here in this? 10.50. So I'm referring with the help of the only the variable name. I'm not referring with anything, so that's why directly local memory takes priority. 10.50 is printed. Then I'm returning 10. Why? Because the return type of it is what integer. So I need to return 10. So now what happens? That 10 will come to this place. Okay, then that is there under system.println. I'm not storing it under any variable. I'm just going to print it. So 10 will be printed over here. Then along with it, when it going to come out from that sample2 method, memory will be deleted for it. Clear? Then after that, main memory is being executed, main memory will be deleted. Then total program is executed. It's going to come out of the program, static pool, and then the entire memory will be deleted. Clear? This is how the execution starts. Okay, the execution completes. Anyone has any doubts on this one? I'm going to explain you the next to the about the method overloading one more time. So anyone has any doubts on execution part? How this integer a is been called, double a is called over there, and then why the memory has been created, and then why a is equal to 20 here, why a is equal to 15.50. In this part, anyone has any doubts? You can just tell me. So everyone is clear? There are two things. One you guys understood, one you guys did not understand anything. Which is one right now? Correct? Everyone is clear about the concept? Yes. Okay, sure. So now I'll go to the next one. I'm going to tell you about the method overloading concept only right now. Okay, this is my program. Okay, this is my program which I'm going to execute. So if you see over here, sample is the method name. Okay, sample is the method name. The thing is actually what? All the method names are sample only. But the difference is what means, can you see here there is no arguments. Okay, this type of methods we'll be calling it as a default method. Okay, these type of methods will be calling it as a default method. Then here it accepts integer argument. Okay, then this accepts double argument. Here it accepts integer and double. Then here it accepts double and integer. Here it accepts integer, double and string. So what are the thing means, these methods, okay, the memories will be deferred based on the number of arguments or based on the type of arguments. See here it's integer and double. Okay, the type is being deferred. This is integer and this is double. Then here if you see it's integer and double, so the numbers are deferred. Okay, number of arguments, here it is 1, here it is 2 over here. So integer and double, here again double and integer. So the type is deferred. First is integer and second is double. Here it's double is integer. Same thing here, integer, double and string. So this concept is called as method overloading. That is, a method will have the same name but in different forms. Okay, a method will have the same name but in different forms over there. So how the forms are different is based on the arguments, the number of arguments or type of arguments which we are passing there. Clear? So the return type actually what means, it's used only for returning the value. Based on that there is no difference going to happen over there in the method. Only based on arguments only the difference in memories will happen. So the thing is, if I want to call this method sample, it's a static method. Na? So function basic dot sample, if I pass an integer value 10, this will be called. Same thing, function basic dot sample, if I pass 10 comma 30.20, first is an integer, second is a double. So this method will be matching. Clear? This is what method overloading. Clear guys? Anyone has any doubts on this one? Can I explain this execution? Anyone has any doubts on this execution parts? So I'm going to explain you that execution part level. So this time actually what is that I'm going to ask from you guys. Difference between public static void and then static void. So the thing is public static void and then static void. What is the thing is actually public is what I told you is the access modifier. Okay. When you make it as public, it can be accessed all over the project. It might be there under a different package or the same package, same class or a different class. But if it is made as only static void means if you're not having the if you're not having public, only you're having static void means that is it's a default. That means you can access that member only in the that package level alone on the total project. That's the thing. Okay, Rashmita? Yeah. So now I'm going to explain this. So now I'm going to ask you, Shalini, can you explain me this program? What will happen? I'll just unmute you. Shalini, you want to try?
Yes, Murli.
Yeah. Can you just tell me?
Yes. So first we have the static pool, where all the static.
Yes, super.
So here we have sample correct. Int A.
Yes, correct.
Then we have sample double, all the samples basically in this program.
Correct, because everything is a static. Correct.
And then we have main.
Just a second, I'll load all these things. Sure. And then main, yes, correct. So then after that, as you said, the main function also, because that is also is a static. Yes, correct.
And then we have, I don't see what is next. Just a moment.
Oh yeah. Just so after this one, right now we don't have anything.
We
That's
don't
the
have
main
anything.
function is last.
Yeah, that's done.
Yes.
And then
So
we have
now,
the local memory for main.
correct. First the local memory for main will be created. A local memory for the main will be created at the beginning, correct?
In that we have a sample. I'm not sure if sample has to be there in local memory because it's already there in static pool.
The thing is, local memory for sample will be created. Then what will happen? Your main function start to execute beginning, correct?
Okay.
So
No, we have sample inside the main, right? So I'm really not sure if it has to be there in the local memory of main or.
I'll tell you that one. So
Yeah.
local memory for main.
Main.
Yeah. So the thing is, here I'm going to use sample, okay, which is a method. I'm trying to call the sample method. The thing is, what will happen? It will first check over there in the main memory. Do I have any sample method? So there is nothing here in. Now what happened?
It will go to the static pool and see if it's available there. And we do have sample, so we have a local memory created for sample.
Correct. So now it takes the sample method from the static pool. Now what will happen?
A local memory for sample.
Correct. A local memory for sample will be created. Yes, superb.
So in sample, we don't have anything to be initialized. So it will print the sample function and.
Yes. So it prints me sample function.
Sample function. And then here we see a return of 100 that will actually be there for the, it will return that to the main function. That value will be returned to the main function.
Can you tell me why I need to return 100?
Oh, because it's a type integer. I mean, it's just you're returning a value that you want. It's not an output from anything. Because the function is integer, you're returning an integer value.
Correct. The return type is integer. That's why it's mandatory for me to use a return statement with the integer value to be returned.
Right.
So now that 100 will be returned to the place wherever it is called.
Sample. Yeah.
So now, is there anything will happen over there? The return 100, will I be doing anything?
I think it will be there in the local memory of sample.
No. The thing is, I'm not going to print or I'm not going to capture in any of the variable.
Okay. So it's just going to be there.
Correct. It comes over here and then after that it just vanishes because I'm not going to capture anywhere.
Okay. Okay.
That's the thing. Clear?
So now after it comes back to local sample, the local memory of sample is destroyed, and then we have in the local memory of main we have integer C, where again we are calling sample.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Ali. I'll just go with the next person.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Rajnish, you just want to try the next? You're there, Rajnish? Yeah. Can you try?
No. What do you want? Sorry.
Actually, oh sorry. We have executed. There is actually Shalini. She has executed till here the sample method. Okay. Now you have to execute me this integer C equal to sample.
Okay. So in this case now, this sample function with the return type integer would be called.
So now integer C equal to sample. What happens?
Okay, I tell you. The first one, the public static int sample, because we are passing no arguments, but the return type is integer. So 100 would be called and it would display 100.
Sure. The thing is, it's like when I use integer C equal to sample, a local memory for the sample will be created. Getting? So first that will be created. Then after that, what will happen right now? So here integer C equal to sample I'm using. So that means inside the main function, a variable C will be created here equal to. Okay. So integer C, that will be created for me. So that's what this one. So integer C, that will be created in the local memory. So then next what will happen right now? So the sample for that memory is created. Now control comes over here.
Yeah.
So how the control comes over here means first it checks in the main memory. There is no sample. Now control goes to the static pool and checks it.
Yeah.
So here only sample is there. That's why this sample method start to execute.
It will display sample function.
Yes, correct. Yes, then
It will display sample function and return the value 100, which will
correct.
assign to C variable, and then it will display the value C.
Correct. So the thing is, it prints me sample function. Then after that, what will happen? It returns me 100. That 100 will be captured over there under the C variable now. Clear? Because right now I'm giving in the main memory. That's what. So then it deletes the memory which has been created by the local memory of sample. That. Then next, what will happen right now for me?
Yeah, it will display C. That is, whatever is assigned to C, it will display.
Yeah, C means actually where the memory will be taken, the C memory value.
Local memory for main.
Sure. Okay, it comes over to the main memory over here. Then it takes the value 100, and then that will be printed over there. Okay, guys. So this is how it will happen. So then next, can you tell me what will happen right now after that?
Then I will display that delimiter.
Dashes. Correct. The dashes will be printed over there. So then now can you tell me what will happen over here? Okay, Rajesh, thank you, Rajesh. So I'll just go. Monisha, can you try the next? Hello, hey Monisha, you're there?
Yes, Murli, I'm there.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. Abhishek was having a doubt. Can we have integer sample and character sample? Yes, we can have that also. So the return type can be integer or character or string, anything you can use over there, Abhishek. Okay, the return type can be of any data type. That's what your question now, Abhishek? Okay, so yes, Monisha, can you just tell me what will happen next? So right now we have to execute this one.
So the function called sample of 10 is executed. So there is a local memory for sample 10 created.
Super.
And it goes to the second function.
So now the thing is search where it will happen first.
It goes to the, yeah, sorry.
Sample of 10 means first it checks in the main memory. Sample of 10 means it matches with which one?
The second one in the static pool.
Correct. Sample of integer EA. That one will be matched. Yes. So now control goes over there. So then what will happen?
So it prints the passing function.
Before that, the 10 will be loaded somewhere. Can you tell me where the 10 will be loaded?
Yes, it loads in the sample int A function.
Correct. So in the local memory of sample int A, it creates a variable A. In that, the 10 will be loaded. Correct. Then next.
It prints the passing function.
Yes. Passing function.
Function A value, that is 10.
Correct. Passing function. And then A where the search will go?
In the same function.
Correct. In the local memory of that sample int A only, it takes the searches over there. Then 10 will be printed. So then after that what will happen?
It comes back to the main function.
Correct. The control comes back, and then after that for me?
And the memory will get...
memory gets deleted for me. That's the thing. Okay. Then after that, so next. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, Mudhi. Sorry, I forgot you. I'm sorry. Thank you, Marisha. So, can we have in the same class? Yes, we can have the Abhishek is having another thing. So, can we have the integer sample and character sample in the same class over there. Yes, we can have that one. So the next is sample of 10.50. Sample of 10.50 means what? I'm passing over there a double argument. So that matches with this double argument. So now what happened? Once again, it prints me a local memory for that one. So it will be local memory for sample, then double of E will be taken over there. So now what will happen? Control comes over here. So what will happen? In the A variable that will be passing me. So now what will be there in the A variable I'm passing over there is 10.50. So A equal to 10.50. Then next what will happen right now? Control comes over here, passing double function. Then after that my A value is what right now here it is 10.50. So 10.50 will be taken. Okay. So then next is it will print me hello system.out.println hello. So before that it deletes the memory of this sample2. So hello will be printed over there right now. Then sample 10, 20.50 Murali. So once again memory for that one will be created, which matches with local memory for sample. I'm passing 10, 20.50 Murali. So that is integer A comma double B comma and then string C. It matches with this one. That's what is going to happen. So now what will happen? In the A it will be loading 10, in the B it will be loading 20.50, and then in the C that will be loading me Murali. These three things will be loaded here. Then after that what will happen? Control comes over here, prints me passing function passing function, and then after that A, B and then C value. A value is 10, B value is 20.50 and then C value is Murali. These things clear? This is what will be printed. Okay, then control comes of this function. Again the memory will be deleted for this one, and then after that main function start to execute. Clear? This is how the execution happen, and then after that what will happen right now for me? So it totally now execution is completed, comes out of the main memory. Main memory has been deleted. Then after that static pool, then everything. Okay, all the memory has been deleted by the garbage collector. Okay, so anyone has any doubts on this one? Okay, there is a doubt. So hi Murli, can we have a second method with same data type and same argument? That's what. That time it throws an error. Why? Because it is a duplicate. It's a duplicate. That's why based on arguments level we are differing with type or number of arguments we are differing over there. That's the thing. Clear guys? So which one will be called in case we have the same argument? Example void sample sysO void integer sample sysO int character sample. The thing is actually what always you can call a method with method name only. Void, integer, all those things are what means it's a keywords over there. Okay, those things are keywords. You cannot call the keyword. You can call the method only. Okay, based on sample only you can call. What happens to the rest of two methods? So what are the rest of two methods, Abhishek? Sorry, Ramesh. Having a value int a double b. So what is this? what happens to rest of two methods having value integer a and double b? That is actually sure. Just a second. So just a second, Ramesh. I'm just going to unmute you. Ramesh, can you hear me? Ramesh, I have unmuted you. You can ask me.
Yeah, we are not calling or we are not passing any value to those methods, right? In our function, in our code.
Okay. So in the which one? Sample 10, 20.50 Murli, that one, na?
No. Sample. I'm referring the method. Okay.
Okay.
Public static void sample int a comma double b.
Okay.
So we are not using those. It means we are not passing any value, or we are not calling those methods, right? So will they remain idle? It means
yes, it remains idle. Whenever I'm going to use it, that time only that methods will be called. Otherwise, it remains idle. Yes, correct.
Okay, got it.
Okay, na?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Anyone has any doubts or something? So it's 9:29. I'm gonna close the session as of for today. So assignments will be what means, okay? So I'll be passing the same programs, and then along with that some other extra programs I'll be forwarding to you. Okay. So what I want you to do means the same thing today also, the same memory allocation only I want you guys to do it. Okay. And then write the same program in your Eclipse, and okay, don't copy paste and then do it. Write the program, and then after that you just execute it over there and check whether your output, what you are getting it, and then the output which you are getting in the Eclipse is matching or not. Okay, so I'm going to pass you some extra programs also. Some 2 extra programs will be there which I have not taken over there in the class. So you guys try that one, and then I just need to check whether you are getting the proper output or not. Okay, guys. So just a second, Rajneesh is having a question. So just I'm unmuting you, Rajneesh. Just a second, Rajneesh. Hey, Rajneesh. Yeah, I have unmuted you. You can ask me.
So, mostly I was trying to execute a program, first class.java, which we had shared yesterday, and I was able to, I created a folder and gave the name as first package. And then I could compile the file. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Java C was able to do that, but when I run that program,
Okay.
it showed up a message called could not find or load main class. Then I even went to the class path in the environmental variables, and I had actually given that folder name where my class file was there, even it was not. So then I tried running the program using Java package name dot class name. Even that was not. So I'm using a notepad and not the Eclipse.
Okay, sure. Actually, I think you have sent me a screenshot of that one. I think so. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just still I have not looked on it. I'll just looked on it, and then can I reply to that to you?
Fine.
Because I'm there are some problems might be there. That is actually one. Your Java version is coming properly in your site.
No, because I'm able to compile. Because when I write Java and hyphen version, it shows 1.8. I think. Yeah.
Got it. Compilation is happening only when your execution time.
Yes. So at the runtime, it is showing messages could not find or load main class.
Sure. Got it. I'll just look on that one. Meantime, you can just download the Eclipse and then try the same thing. Okay. So check whether they are also having the same problem, because sometimes if the path is not been properly set also, you might get that problem.
No,
Okay.
but when the path is not set, then how can it compile well?
No. Sometimes actually what the compilation will happen, the execution sometimes the problem will happen, but usually that will be a very rare case because both will not be only working. Very rarely sometimes this problems will come. I'll be just checking on that you said what you said, and then I'll reply to that one to the mail thread. Okay, Abhishek. So and also meanwhile you just try to download the Eclipse and then do the same thing. Check whether you're getting the same problem.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Today I'll be sending you that information to you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. Anyone has any doubts or something, or can we close the session for today? Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. So we'll again meet up by tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.